Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to fire up the smoker and I'm going to smoke some ribs and a half of a pork loin. Right here we got a center cut pork loin, a rack of baby back ribs, and a rack of spare ribs. Gonna be eating good tonight and for a couple days after that too. I got that pork loin out of the package. I'm gonna trim off some of this fat right here, a little bit right here. I got all that fat and hard stuff trimmed off of there. Nobody wants to bite into a big chunk of fat. I'm gonna stick this over here for now. I'm gonna trim these up a little bit too. These ribs have a membrane on the back side that you have to peel off. I usually just grab a napkin and get a good grip with it and just peel it across until it's off. All right, that's the big dog, the big spare rib. I got to get this membrane pulled off of here, and I'm going to trim up all this nasty looking stuff. And then on the other side, I'm going to trim off most of this fat as much as I can get to, because nobody, like I said before, nobody wants to bite into that. That looks a little bit better. I got most of that thick, nasty fat trimmed off. It's okay to leave some on though, because the fat helps give it flavor. You just don't want like thick layers of it across. I'm gonna get this smoker fired up. Once I get them coals going, I'm gonna dump them in the bottom of the firebox for like a base layer. And then after that, I'm gonna alternate apple wood and hickory wood. But while those coals are getting ready and the smoker's getting ready, I'm gonna go back in here and season up the meat. I also put this pan in here with some water in it. That's gonna help add moisture to the meat while it's smoking, and it also helps regulate the temperature. On these baby back ribs, I'm gonna use this smokehouse maple. On the spare ribs, I got this from Publix rib rack barbecue rub. It's my favorite rub on ribs. I mean, this one is a close second for me too, but on the center cut pork loin, I'm gonna use this butt rub. I've used this on Boston butts to make pulled pork with, and it's really, really good. So we're gonna try it on here too and see how it turns out. I got those babies all seasoned up on both sides, a fairly liberal amount. I'm just gonna let that meat hang out and let those rubs start penetrating into the meat while the smoker gets ready and up to temperature. You can already see the meat starting to sweat because those rubs are starting to penetrate in deep into the meat. Them coals are ready. I got my meat on the grill. Now I'm gonna get it started. I'm gonna get some of the smoke started with this apple wood. Put me a good amount of apple wood in there to get her started. Once that catches fire, I'm gonna close everything up. Them applewood chunks, excuse me, them applewood chunks have burnt down into coals, so I'm gonna put one of these hickory logs on here. Let that get going. That log ought to burn for a while. It's only been about 30 minutes at this point. So them applewood chunks, you know, they burn out pretty quickly. But them big logs, that'll go for a while. The meat's been on the grill for about an hour now, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix me up a solution to spray it with to keep it nice and moist and tender. I'm going to do in this spray bottle 50% apple cider vinegar and 50% apple juice. I actually did about 60% apple juice and 40% apple cider vinegar. After 1 hour, all them little pieces are just what I had trimmed off of there, and there's no seasoning on them. I'll give them to the dog. He likes that stuff. But right now I'm going to hit it with this solution I made with apple cider vinegar and apple juice. I'm just going to give it all a really good coat. That's going to keep the meat nice and moist, because when you smoke meat, it kind of has a tendency to dry out. I sprayed that meat fairly liberally. Now I'm just going to let it smoke for another hour, and then I'm going to give it another spray, and then I'm going to smoke it for a third hour, and then I'm going to show you guys my secret trick to making ribs come out perfect after it's been on the smoker for 3 hours. I went ahead and threw another batch of apple wood on. I'm just alternating them right now. The hickory log had just burned out. And I also decided I wanted to stick my meat probe. You can see the cord coming out. I stuck that into the pork loin so I could keep an eye on the temperature. It's already saying 139, but I stuck my thermal pin in the middle and it was only 130. And I don't know about you, but I like my pork done. They say it's safe to eat at 145, but I like to get mine up to like 165. And now that all the hard work is done, well, halfway done anyway, I'm going to have me a Topo Chico. Oh, wow, that's good. All right, they've been on for 2 hours. Wowzer. I'm going to hit them with some more of this liquid. I'm going to turn this pork loin around here. That one side closest to the fire is getting a little bit overdone. There we go. It's getting close anyway. It's up to about 150 or 155. I'm going to pull off all these little pieces right here for the dog. They're pretty much done. He's going to like that. Check this fire pit. I put on another hickory log. That's still burning pretty good. All right, these have been on for 3 hours. That pork loin is done. I'm pulling it. I'm going to spray these down, and then I'm going to show you my secret trick to finish them off. I put that pork loin in here with some foil over it. I'm just going to leave it like that kind of like vented a little bit. I'm just gonna let it rest for like an hour. I got these ribs wrapped up in tin foil. I'm gonna pop them in the oven. It's on 250. I'm gonna put them in there for 2 hours. They're gonna come out perfect. The reason I do that is because after they've been on the smoker for 3 hours, they're not gonna take any more smoke flavor into them. So if you wrap them up in tin foil and just bake them on like 250 for the last 2 hours, they already got the smoke flavor into them, and the baking in the tin foil is just going to make them come out really tender and juicy. All right, y'all, this pork loin's been resting for about an hour actually. I'm going to cut her open and check it out. I let it get up to about 165, 170. Man, that butt rub I used on it, pretty good. I've only used it on the Boston butts before, but it's really good on here too. Man. Coop, you want some snacks, bud? These are those pieces I had cut off. I smoked them for the dog. Coming back for more. All right, last one, bud. That pork loin is really good. I just took them babies out of the oven. Look at them bones pulled back. That's how you know your ribs are done. When them bones pull back like that off the meat, they're done. They were on for 3 hours on the smoker, and then I wrapped them in foil and put them in the oven on 250 for 2 hours. I'm gonna let them babies cool down for about 15 minutes, and then I'm gonna tear into them. The moment of truth is here. I got me 2 baby backs and 2 spares. Look at that nice smoke ring. Look at that. That red part, that's the smoke ring. I like just about all barbecue sauces, but this is one of my favorites. So I'm gonna, try a little bit of it. Probably don't even need it. It's probably gonna taste so good, you won't even wanna put it on. Oh man. Look at that just fall right off the bone. That's the baby back. Oh man. This is a spare rib. Just look at that bone just fall right out of there. Man. Good Lord. When you smoke them for 3 hours and then wrap them in tin foil and put them in the oven, man, comes out perfect every time. Well, guys, I'm about to dig in. Thanks for watching.